Hey everyone, Grayson the Bard here, and welcome back to day 93 of the Hunt-A-Day. We are back in Monster Hunter Rise. It has been a while since we have been away from Frontier, aside from yesterday with the Raptor video, which was very fun to make, and I hope y'all enjoyed it. But I figured, because 2024 was the year of the dragon, we are wrapping up the year of the dragon, I figured what a better way to close out 2024 than by showing off just non-stop back-to-back Elder Dragons. And I wanted to do that with my favorite of the original three Elder Dragons of the trio that showed up in Monster Hunter 2, and that is Chameleos. If you've been watching this series of videos for any length of time, you should not be surprised to know that my favorite Elder Dragon of that original trio, Chameleos, Kushala Daora, and Teostra, is the complete, absolute dumbass of the group. Chameleos is a big purple poison dragon. It uses the standard Elder Dragon frame, but the way it moves is so unique compared to every other monster in the game. It skitters about like a funky lizard. It goes invisible. It moves around the arena in a way that very few other monsters do, and it has just so much personality. Looking at the big dumb look on his face, the buggy chameleon eyes, I can't help but smile when I am fighting Chameleos. He is so much fun. The fact that he has multiple really fun, cool gimmicks to his fight as well really help with that. And the big thing, though, really is just that purple is my favorite color. So a monster that is predominantly purple is 100% going to be tippity top of the list for me. So talking about his gimmicks, though, he's got a lot. The first one and most important one being invisibility. Chameleos can cloak himself like a chameleon and use that to reposition around the arena. Usually you can see like little outlines of him and it's not hard to track down where he is, but it's still really cool to see a monster go fully invisible and use that to try and catch a hunter off guard. I believe, and please in the comments if I am wrong, please correct me, but off the top of my head, I think there's only two monsters that can fully go invisible like that. No, three, because there is Chameleos, Nightcloak Malfestio, and Lucent Nargacuga can all go full invisible and use that for movement and in their attacks. But Chameleos was the first and is therefore the best. Then, in addition to the going invisible, Chameleos also has a mechanic where when it hits you with its tongue, in earlier generations, so pre-Monster Hunter Rise, it would steal one of your items from your inventory, which made it really stressful to make sure that you were not getting hit by the attack, to make sure you weren't losing your max potions or any of the items that you carry in your inventory to give you an attack boost, the Talon Charms and stuff like that. Because when you lose them to Chameleos, you just lose them. You can't get them back like you can some of the other monsters. So it kind of became necessary to not just prepare for the hunt in terms of what gear you're going to bring, but also prepare your inventory for what you need in order to successfully do the hunt, but also what you're prepared to lose. And I'm really disappointed that Monster Hunter Rise did away with that. Instead, when Chameleos hits you with his tongue, instead of stealing your items, Chameleos will steal your Spiribird buffs, which is less fun, but it still kind of fits the same idea, because in Monster Hunter Rise, Spiribirds are the main part of your preparation for a hunt. You're supposed to use those to build up your health, your attack, your defense, before going to the monster itself. And so it has that same effect of having you sort of balance what you need versus what you can afford to lose, but without the real, impact of stealing an item directly from your inventory. I would love for, if they bring Chameleos back, for them to go back to stealing stuff from your inventory, stealing items, rather than small inconsequential buffs that a lot of people just kind of ignored as the game went on as well. I don't know about y'all, but when I play Rise, I tend to just beeline straight for the monster, get whatever buffs I can on the way, and then, that's that. And then, of course, he is a big bad poison monster and does a lot of really big poison breath attacks. I am fighting the Rise version of Chameleos, and the main reason for that is it is my favorite version of the fight. a lot of the other fights I've noticed, Chameleos has like one or two moves that really utilize the poison, and the rest he is predominantly just like a weaker physical Elder Dragon. Whereas Rise really doubles down on the poison, and it is such a core part of his moveset. Almost every move he has goes into like a breath of poison or launching poison clouds into the air, moving them around with his wings. It's a really dynamic fight, and I really like it, but it is also really well telegraphed. Chameleos is not a hard fight, and I think that's part of what I really like about it. I don't know if I've talked about this much in other rambles, but I'm honestly not the biggest fan of, like, in Monster Hunter, I'm not the biggest fan of hunts that feel like they're meant to make you angry until you pass them. I like there to be a little bit of a challenge in the moment, but I don't necessarily want Monster Hunter hunts to be on a difficulty of something like an Elden Ring boss, or, just any, like, Dark Souls-ish boss. I like challenge, but I also want to be able to farm these monsters, so once I figure them out, I don't want to, have to worry about being able to hunt them again. And so I think Chameleos is a really, like, it's even on that end of the scale, it's a pretty easy fight, but it is also a very fun fight. And especially if you don't have poison resist on your armor, it's a very fun dance of, like, ducking in and out of the poison clouds and the poison beams and making sure you can get your good hits. I really like it. I think Chameleos is great. And because he did not show up in World, for reasons of, I don't know, I honestly have no idea, but I think it has to do with, like, they wanted Valhazak for the Rotten Vale region, and they couldn't really find a good place to fit Chameleos, which is disappointing. Since he wasn't in World, I think the mainline team really is going to want to bring Chameleos in after it sat out in Monster Hunter World and Iceborne. I think they will probably want to bring it back. So I think it's a good contender for Wilds. I'm going to put it kind of where I put the some of the other monsters I've been talking about lately. I'll put it kind of at like a 7. Like, I think it has a very high chance of coming back. And Elder Dragons in general have a good chance of coming back. Only brought down a little bit because we just saw it in Rise. Even though that was kind of like, it was a mainline game, but it wasn't like it was a in air quotes, portable game more so than a mainline game. So, Chameleos has been gone from mainline for a while. I think he has a good chance. I'm going to stick with 7. And 10 out of 10 for coming back in a future game. He is one of the main original 3 Elder Dragons of the trio. If we never see him again, I would be incredibly surprised. And I am going to wrap up the ramble there for today. Thank you all so much for watching. Please stick around until the end of the hunt if you can. Like, comment, and subscribe if you want to. Don't if you don't. And until next time, I'll see you next time.